Hello, everyone. Welcome to MedAxi Forum. Today's topic is the One Big Beautiful Bill, a major correction for the United States. The One Big Beautiful Bill, strongly promoted by President Trump, has recently passed both chambers of Congress thanks to the unity of Republican lawmakers and has been signed into law on July 4th, 2025, Independence Day, by President Trump. This legislation represents a major correction of the severely left-leaning policies of the past several decades. We thank God for his preservation and care for America. In this lecture, I would like to offer some analysis based on the statements of those who oppose the bill. Number 1, attacks from the Democratic Party. Number 2, Elon Musk's criticism of the bill. Number 3, the New York Times' criticism of the bill. Let's get started from number 1. Number 1, attacks from the Democratic Party. A Democratic senator said, "This bill will lead to higher healthcare costs. Our entire country will become sicker, hungrier, and poorer." Jesus fed the hungry, healed the sick, and loved his neighbor. We are told to do the same. But the Republican tax bill just passed by the Senate serves billionaires and leaves those most in need to go hungry. This is immoral and unfaithful. My comment: the desire of this Democratic senator and of President Biden to help others is good in itself. But let President Biden use his own money to repay student loans for others. Let this Democratic senator open his own home to host the hungry. I would like to remind Democratic politicians, please do good with your own money. Do not use other people's money. The U.S. government must correct its misguided welfare state policies, and this bill is the first step. This does not mean that American society will no longer advocate helping those in need. Rather, it means the government will withdraw from the roles of charity and welfare, returning these responsibilities to civil society. For decades, the U.S. government has tried to manage every aspect of people's lives. When Democrats were in power in the past decades, beyond using other people's money to do good, which is essentially theft or robbery, they also expanded the government bureaucracy and brought serious corruption. The government has become not only the largest employer, but also the largest buyer in society, naturally attracting opportunists seeking to profit. This phenomenon severely destroys the spirit of the free market. Increasingly, entrepreneurs focus not on pleasing consumers, but on pleasing the government to win more contracts. Yes, after the bill is implemented, it may lead to 12 million people losing Medicaid, 17 million losing insurance, 2 million losing food stamps, and welfare reductions for 40 million people. Some will protest because of this. Having enjoyed free healthcare and bread for a time, it is natural that people will feel dissatisfied when these benefits are gone. This is human nature. But the U.S. government must withdraw from welfare state policies. If we do not correct course, these astronomical expenditures will soon drag America into bankruptcy. When that day comes, it won't just be some people whose interests are harmed. It will be everyone. The U.S. federal debt has surpassed a staggering $37 trillion, about 130% of its GDP. This is the result of long-term omnipotent government, big spending policies led by Democratic politicians. President Trump's corrective action aims to return America to a limited government, a small government. The federal government should withdraw from all areas where it never belonged in the first place. Democrats also attack the bill's tax cuts, claiming they rob the poor to enrich the rich. But why should the rich pay higher taxes? So-called rich people are, in most cases, hardworking members of the middle class. Their money doesn't fall from the sky. In the New Testament, Jesus taught believers to tithe. He did not say that John, because he is wealthier, should pay 20%. The progressive income tax rates common in the U.S. and many countries are, in truth, blatant plundering of others' property. A single flat tax rate for all would truly uphold the 8th commandment of Moses, "Thou shalt not steal," and represent true fairness before God. This bill is still far from achieving a single flat tax rate. This is my comment for number 1. Let's enter into number 2. Number 2, Elon Musk's criticism of the bill. Musk's criticism focuses mainly on the increase of the federal debt ceiling, which is understandable. Since President Carter, the federal government has moved steadily toward an omnipotent government, except for a brief period of balanced budgets under President Clinton. Most years have seen persistent deficits, leading to today's $37 trillion national debt and annual interest payments that exceed defense spending. My comment: yet there is no alternative. The bill still proposes raising the federal debt ceiling by $5 trillion. This is the reality of America. President Trump's team must have ammunition in hand in order to correct course. But Musk need not worry. All the efforts by DOGE to reduce staff and cut spending will not be in vain. President Trump's team will use this ammunition not to expand government, but to correct it. Also, let us remember something absent from the articles I've read on this topic. Does cutting taxes necessarily mean government revenue will fall? Not at all. President Trump's tax cuts and deregulation will spur a new wave of robust economic growth in America. We can expect that federal revenue will actually increase in the near future. This is the fundamental solution to the federal debt crisis. This is my comment for number 2. Let's enter into number 3. Number 3, the New York Times' criticism of the bill. The New York Times argues that the greatest global impact of this bill is America's complete abandonment of its international responsibility to address climate change. The U.S. will phase out subsidies for electric vehicles and renewable energy, while massively relaxing restrictions on domestic oil and gas production. My comment: the New York Times columnist attacks the bill under the banner of environmental protection. For decades, environmental protection has been the political correctness of left-leaning politicians worldwide. But President Trump's team recognizes that this environmental scam is accelerating harm to humanity and the planet. In reality, for at least the next 50 years, humanity will remain dependent on fossil fuels. Whether new energy can save the world hinges on one thing: the full process cost of producing it. There's a term in energy efficiency, ROI, energy return on investment, the ratio of energy produced to energy invested. Globally, if considering the full process cost, the ROI for solar power would be less than 1%. In other words, a solar power system produces less energy over its lifetime than it consumes in manufacturing and maintenance. The sorry state of solar power today is largely the result of governments wasting taxpayer money on artificial subsidies. Remember Solyndra? In September 2011, this flagship of the US solar industry went bankrupt, embarrassing the Department of Energy and President Obama. Under Obama's push, Solyndra received a $535 million government loan guarantee in 2010. In China, Wuxi Suntech, once the pride of China's solar sector, went bankrupt in March 2013, leaving 7.1 billion yuan in state bank loans unpaid. President Trump's team is leading America back to fossil fuels and nuclear energy. This is the right path. This is my comment for number 3. Alright, that concludes the entire content of today's lecture. I hope it has provided you with some inspiration. Thank you all for listening. May God bless you and your family.